Summer is an amazing time to be green witching. I promised you this video where I talk about the wheel of the year and connecting to, thank you for interrupting, connecting to the Sabbats one to another with your green witch practices, as well as herbal crafting and ideas for working with plants and getting closer, developing those relationships. No time like summertime to develop those green witch practices and enjoy getting out in nature while it's abundant. The wheel turns, and here we are at the height of summer. Summer solstice is actually the height of the summer season. And I follow the gates of the year to the different elements through the wheel. And the southern gate is the gate of fire that we enter at Bealtaine, and it peaks at summer solstice. We're now in the waning portion of that time. And so for me right now is about connecting with fire. In a previous summer solstice video, I talked about my connection to this time and how strained it's been. So some of the questions you may want to ask are, how do I feel about this time of year when I connect with it? What's going on in my body? Like, where am I sensing this? How do I connect with the element of fire in the world around me? How comfortable am I with it? How uncomfortable am I with this time of year? Am I triggered? What are my triggers during this time? And am I seeing that I'm not triggered the same way in different times of the year when maybe another element is more prominent? This is time of year when sun is king. The sun is king. And we've been talking about in the Discord, yeah, I have a Discord, by the way, about the sun card itself and the imagery there. So one of the things you may want to do is pull out the sun card or pull out cards from your oracle decks that feature the sun and really reflect on how and what that card means to you. In the tarot itself, we go from the star to the moon and then the sun. So we have this progression of the self as the dreamer, the star, into the moon, which is what is hidden, the subconscious and illusions. And then we rise up out of that into completely being revealed by the sun. And so asking yourself, how do I connect with this time of the year when there is so much light, when the days are long, when there's this effulgence of everything? And then as a green witch connecting with the summer, ask yourself, how can I get out into nature and connect? And I want to share with you how I do that. Summer is an amazing time to connect with the outside realm. You can hear the finches. Can you hear them? And so every year I make a point of making a walk to the river on solstice morning, and I pick daisies because they are available to me out here. There's just tons of them. And so I want to encourage you to get out into your landscape and see what part of the landscape is a regular part of the story, and how can I interact with that story? There's something just so light and bright about summer that makes the heart glad. By engaging with the land around you and really recognizing what is a regular rhythm in the wheel of the year for you, where you're at, or maybe you're in a new place and you don't really know, but going out and connecting with plants out. Oh my gosh, I have to get a picture of this. The cottonwoods right now are going off and everything is covered in this duffy cotton. And then of course, I don't know if you can see it in the sun up there, but it's just floating. I call it snow in summer. I just encourage you to get out and connect with the land in some way. Connect to the story of the land. As you're green witching around during the summertime, I think it's a great time to connect with old friends. And by that, I mean trees that are already your established friend, or herbs, and really deepen your relationship with them. Finding ways to sit and meditate with those herbs, to honor them, to ingest them if you can, if they're not poisonous. Spending some time just really attuning yourself to those herbs that you've already developed a relationship with. I have my favorite plants in my yard during the summer that I like to spend time with. And I just want to get in and really try to discover something new about these old friends of mine and spend some time really honoring them in some way, whether I sketch them or maybe I press them and put them in my journal and enjoy that. But then there's also getting out on a nature walk and discovering something new, like finding a new plant. And what's really interesting is when you get out and you're walking around and suddenly a new friend waves at you, like a new plant that you've never noticed in your landscape that reaches out and says, hey, let's be friends. Share with you this discovery back here behind me that it's just new, something I've never noticed on this trail in all the years, 14 years of walking this trail, is this red-berried elder that has just showed up. There's such a magic in suddenly finding a plant that's been there all along. I'm sure this is big. It's been here all along and I've never noticed it. But today it waved at me. It was like, hey, I'm here, and I feel so privileged that the red-berried alder, and I'm like, oh, and then they're over there. Like I'm looking around, they're everywhere. Never noticed them. Just by being present. And by knowing that sometimes the universe wants to throw something new into our story. And we need to be just ready to allow that to happen. So hello, red-berried elder. I'm going to develop a relationship with this plant. I'm going to spend some time meditating with her. I'm going to look up everything I can about her. And she will become a part of my story. Here's a quick idea for you to get out there and get crafting your green witching summer, is to bring water to the birds. I think this is a great time of the year to really provide water for wildlife in any way, but I made this quick and easy bird bath with a bird bath that I scored from a charity shop for very little, and this tomato cage. I simply placed it in the tomato cage, kind of pressed it down so it was firm. One of the things is that you just want to choose some kind of vessel that isn't too deep for the birds to get in, that's just easy. If you put a rock in, as I did, then bees and other insects can land and drink the water as well. And you can place this anywhere in your garden. What a great way as a green witch to get out and support the wildlife in the area. Okay, green witches, how's your herb stores looking? You know, this time of year, it's getting hot and dry, and I'm really reminded that things get old. And there's something like lazy and fun about summer that I can just like kind of run my hand over my different herb stores and take a look. Every Sabbath is a good time to really get out there and look at your herb stores. But for me in particular, the solstices and vernal equinoxes themselves are times when I really want to get in and look and see what's old, what's stale, what needs to go. And then move on to really looking at what herbs correspond with the element of fire. So you could break out your little book of shadows and do some notes on it. You could spend some time like meditating with an herb and really see, does it really spark with that element for you? You can spend time on the web. But particularly, I would encourage you to really look at the herbs that you work with and say, do I have a balanced amount of herbs? Like, do I need more solar herbs in my repertoire to work with? For spell work, I work with marigolds and calendula a lot to really bring in that solar energy. But there are a lot of herbs right now that are available in the landscape that for me are personally linked to that solar fire energy. And as a green witch, I just want to explore that and really look at, where are my herb stores at? Did I really use that herb last year? If not, then I need to make a mental note or a note somewhere more likely, or I'll forget that I don't want to cultivate it next year, or maybe I don't need any for another year. So get into your herb stores, get rid of stuff that's old and outdated, get rid of stuff that you're not using, free up your shelf space. I just advise, don't keep things that you don't really use. Like, honor the things that are in your practice and honor the herbs that you have and work with. It's okay to let them go. And if you need to, you can just put them outside, return them to the earth, and thank them for their time with you. And in doing so, you really elevate your own herbal practice by bringing this greater sense of sacredness and honor to the herbs that you are keeping. Tying yourself to the wheel of the year as a green witch and working with your herbs in a way that's very seasonally, it can be really fun to get very conscious about how you are linking the different Sabbats together with your herbal practice. So I'm going to give you an example. during the week of solstice, like the week before and the week after, I'm going to spend that time harvesting calendula and drying it for next year. During that solstice week, I like to take last year's calendula and put it into oil to infuse, and then it'll infuse that entire time until the next Sabbat of Lunasa or Lammas. And during Lammas, which is the first of a harvest festival, I will then strain that oil, celebrating the gleaning of the goodness, like the first fruits of the goodness. I'll then bless the oil at the equinox, which is the effulgence, the height of fall. And then I'll bring it in at Samhain, where I will make it into soap, which will be a gift for Yule. Let me know if you would like a video on different ideas for linking herbs throughout the Sabbats together that you can work with. But get creative. Think about the herbs that you work with and how you can honor them and deepen your relationship by doing so from Sabbat to Sabbat to Sabbat. As always, I want to encourage you that there's no one set way to be a green witch. There's no one set way to be a natural witch. It's naturally what comes from within you. And when you are brave enough to experiment and try out what's working with you and how you connect with the earth and your own personal magic, that's when you're really going to shine. Never underestimate how just being you and interacting with your magic and your green witchery practice makes the world a brighter and shinier place. Until we meet again, may you enjoy the effulgence of summer and everything it has to offer, and may the green witch in you rise up to sparkle and shine all over this world.